All right, hi, welcome back. Attorney Steve Vondran here with you. Thanks for watching. Got another great video here. We are talking about a new law that prohibits people. This is an Arizona state law. Check your own states. You may or may not have something like this. But there's a new law in Arizona. It's already in effect, which says you can't get too close to police officers with your video camera, okay? So the ACLU is kind of up in arms about this. They're saying it's overbroad. You're trying to stop some over aggressive activities by the police from being recorded. And let's take a quick look at the law. I want you to be aware of this because I suspect some other states are going to do this. Cops are trying to do their job, police officers. And this law here, let's just read it. It's called, here's a section, unlawful video recording of law enforcement activity. It is unlawful, it's very short here, so it's just a one-page deal, so bear with me. It is unlawful for a person to knowingly make a video recording of law enforcement activity, there's a definition below, if the person making the video recording is within 8 feet of where the person knows or reasonably should know that the law enforcement activity is occurring. Now, I don't know how anybody's supposed to know the difference between 8 feet and 10 feet and 6 feet. When you're out there and the action's happening and, everything's going on, I don't know how people are supposed to be, it's hard to say like, well, it's 8 feet. No, it was 6 feet. What are you going to bring a tape measure out and everything? So this is a little interesting, I should say. Either receives or has previously received a verbal warning from law enforcement officer that the person is prohibited from making a video recording of a law enforcement activity within 8 feet of the activity and continues to make a video recording of the law enforcement activity within 8 feet of the activity. If the law enforcement activity is occurring in an enclosed structure, that is on private property. A person who is authorized to be on the private property may make a video recording of the activity from an adjacent room or area that is less than 8 feet away from where the activity is occurring. So they can go towards the window and take a video there. That's okay. And unless a law enforcement officer determines that the person is interfering in the law enforcement activity or that it is not safe to be in the area and orders the person to leave the area. Okay, so this is very interesting. So notwithstanding subsection A of this section, a person who is the subject of police contact may record the encounter if the person is not interfering with the lawful police actions, including searching, handcuffing, or administering a field sobriety test. The occupants of a vehicle that is subject of a police stop may record the encounter if the occupants are not interfering with lawful police actions. The section does not establish a right or authorize any person to make a video recording of law enforcement activity. Violation of this section is a Class 3 misdemeanor. I believe that's up to $500 in fines and 30 days in jail. So, it's kind of a serious deal, Class 3 misdemeanor. And for the purpose of this section, law enforcement activity means any of the following: questioning a suspicious person. So if the cops are questioning a suspicious person, you cannot be within 8 feet and recording that, or you could be subject to a Class 3 misdemeanor. Or if the law enforcement is conducting an arrest, issuing a summons, or enforcing the law. And law enforcement activity is also handling an emotionally disturbed or disorderly person who is exhibiting abnormal behavior. So under this law, you have to be very careful. And again, I believe this law is going up on challenge by the ACLU, is saying, well, that means people, if they get six feet away and some officer is beating the heck out of somebody, let's say, then you can't get too close and get too close of a video here. So it's really interesting. There could be some First Amendment, maybe this is curbing or chilling unlawful free speech, First Amendment. We will see. I think this is going to be challenged. But for right now, it's law in the books. You wouldn't want to end up being the test case. Maybe guess some people would, but I wouldn't. But anyway, so be careful when you're out there filming. Even inadvertently, you're out there and there's a big crowd going on, and you're just like, you're being like a super nice, law-abiding citizen, just reporting what's going on. Even with midterms coming up, sometimes there's some crazy things that happen. There's people out there just recording. There's also, if anybody watches TikTok, there's this rise. I don't know if you would call it a rise, but there's a lot of people doing these First Amendment audits where they're coming into a police parking lot. The police officer's coming out. They're filming the police officer. So there's a lot of things to be aware of. To me, this kind of makes everybody back off. Now, the officers do need some space to work and do what they're doing without having to worry about everybody all over them. So, I mean, I do see that. The question is, will this survive a constitutional challenge? And we will see. For now, be aware of this rule, and just, if you're in Arizona in particular here, be careful. You don't want a class 3 misdemeanor. Attorney Steve, I got to run. Thanks for watching. This is not legal advice, general legal information only. If you need some help, civil litigation, you know where to find us on the web at attorneysteve.com. Bye now.